If you have ever thought, I just don't have the time to create good YouTube videos, I get it. I work a full-time, demanding job. I have kids at home. I volunteer in the community, and I still love to get out and do fun things with my spare time. But I have figured out how to keep creating without sacrificing my life. Stick with me here and let me show you how. If you're new to this channel, I'm Ricky, and this is The Pocket Creator, where we pride ourselves on providing professional quality videos and quality content over anything else. We do it without requiring a whole lot of time, and most of the times with gear that I can fit in my own pockets. So let's dive into it. Let's kill the myth of time. We all say we have very little time, right? Like I said, my daily schedule is I get up in the mornings, I get ready, I go straight to work. I get to work, I work 8 hours, sometimes a 10-hour day. I get home from work. I'm normally jumping right into trying to fix dinner for the kids or the family. Then once I'm done with that, I'm doing some chores around the house potentially. And by then I'm exhausted, right? And so I'm just mentally torn. So let's jump right in. Let's start by killing the myth of time. It does not take a long weekend to make a single video. It doesn't even take multiple days, not even really multiple hours. Most videos that we're doing take about 15 minutes to film. And with that being the case, you can film 2 to 3 videos within an hour's time. Now, is that everything that you do in doing the videos? No, you need to plan out your videos and you do other things so that you can do a video in that short period of time. But we're going to talk about that. Once you've created a system, then you can easily record videos in the time that works for you. The important part when doing this is to figure out what content do you want and what is the time need going to be to fit your schedule, right? So first you need to decide how much time does it take to make a video. And so in the beginning, when I was first starting, it probably would take me from idea through planning, actually filming, editing, and then to upload about 10 hours per video. Nowadays, I've gotten that down to closer to 2 to 3 hours per video. And so working through a system, you can determine what is it that you need to be able to provide for your content and your videos and for your channel. Now, what do I do to make this work in my busy life? How do I make it work so that I'm not giving up my life to be able to still do what I enjoy and create? One of the first things I do is plan. Planning can be done anywhere. I don't have to be sitting in my studio to plan. Now, I have apps on my phone where I can sit, and if an idea pops in my head when I'm on lunch at work, I can sit there and start working on an idea and a concept, right? I can use the free time that I have. Maybe I'm waiting for the kids' baseball game to start, and I've got some ideas popping on. I can sit there and put those notes in my app or even bring a notebook with me. I also, like I said, at the end of the day, when I'm kind of tired from work, and instead of sitting there and binge watching, 2 or 3 hours of video or TV, or even worse, doom scrolling on TikTok or Facebook, I can sit there and maybe work for an hour, thinking up with my notebook some video ideas. Maybe I'm watching some YouTube to get some ideas and watching some of my other creators that I get ideas from to see what's doing and working well with them. And I'm just taking notes. And maybe I'm starting to build out scripts and other stuff in this free time. And so I take the little bit of free time that I have and I use that to do my planning, right? The other thing that I do that really helps me be successful and being able to do this, because as you know, one of the big things in YouTube is you need to be consistent in your postings, right? Figure out what works for you in your life, whether that's you're going to post one video a week, you're going to post 2 videos a week. I know some content creators who post a video a day. I mean, for me, That's a little extreme. It doesn't work for my life. So for me, I figure out what's going to work for me to set myself up for success when I'm looking to do mine. And so by batching, like I can go out for a weekend and I can put together 2, 3, and sometimes even 5 or 6 videos in a couple days. And then I set some more structured time to say, when am I going to actually go and edit these videos, right? But by batching the videos, it gives me some free space to know that I have some time where if all of a sudden life does get in the way of my creating, say, for example, coming up soon, I've got my youngest son's high school graduation, and we got a ton of family coming in. So that weekend, I'm probably not going to be even thinking creator mind because we're going to be thinking hanging out with family and going to a graduation. But because I've batched some videos in the past, I've got videos sitting in the bank that I can use to still make sure I'm meeting my goals. And then kind of the last part of my structure and my schedule is that once I've batched a lot of those videos, normally I set a goal that says I'm going to at least edit one video a night whenever I'm, when I'm settled down after all of my other responsibilities. So if I've got videos that need to be edited from the batching, sometimes I'll have quite a few of those. Maybe I had a weekend where I went out and I did 5 videos. And so I'll set a goal that says I'll try to get most of those, maybe 3 of those edited over the next week, and then the other 2 on the next week after that. But for whatever reason, if I didn't batch some for that previous weekend and I don't have any, then I can work on planning for that instead of that. But it sets realistic goals for me so that I'm not setting myself up for failure. And as I mentioned before, letting my creator and my creator side get in the way of my life. So I'm going to end this with saying you're never too busy to create. You're most likely only too disorganized. So work on a schedule that works for you. If you're thinking about starting a new channel, sit down and think through that schedule portion and think through, what can I give? Of course, the more time people can give to the channels, the faster their channels may grow. But for those of us that just want to, I really enjoy creating. Creating doesn't take away from my life, it gives back to my life. It helps add to my joy because it's something that I enjoy doing. And so I enjoy giving some of that, my free time, to that, just like I would anything else. But by doing it the way I've talked to you here, you don't have to sacrifice the other stuff. You don't have to be in a studio, in a fancy studio in the house or somewhere else. You can do it wherever you're at, just like I do. Look at this beautiful place where I'm at right now, but I'm still hopefully providing you some quality content. So if you're interested in wanting to see my actual template on my creator template that I have, leave me some comments below and let me know, because if so, I'll definitely create a future video where I share more detail of what that actually looks like as we go forwards. And if you've made it to this point in the video, then you're most likely like me. You're a person on the go, with a busy life, but you have a desire to want to create. So hit subscribe and join me where I share many of my tips and lessons that I've learned over watching thousands of YouTube videos over the years and posting hundreds of videos, and how I've learned to really dial down that schedule so that I can create and have it work for my life. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you're out enjoying your life as well.